A team of good people can make a hard job not so bad at all. Conversely, of course, a team of toxic people can make an easy job hard. In either case, when you enter a new work environment, it is actually easy to know the conditions of the space you're in. Take a good look at the leadership. The purpose of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. Greetings, navigators, and welcome back to the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. I am your host, Kenny Rogers.
Come on, man. Sit the fuck down.
In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word or a word hardly used in everyday speech. Word up. Nepotism is a form of favoritism granted to relatives in various fields, including business, politics, entertainment, sports, religion, and pretty much all forms of hierarchies. The origination is from the placement of nephews in powerful positions by Catholic popes and bishops. The etymology is the Italian word nepotismo, rooted in the Latin expression nepos, meaning nephew. Starting in the Middle Ages and until the late 17th century, Catholic popes and bishops practicing the vow of chastity and not having sons of their own empowered their nephews with positions of esteem, ordinarily passed on by fathers to sons. Nepotism has been sorely criticized since ancient times. For instance, the philosopher Valuvar expressed nepotism as both evil and unwise. In large part, I happen to agree with Valuvar's conclusion of the term. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. In the previous episode of UCHP, the Can You Relate series, I highlighted the character Javi, real person, fiction name, in expression of my work experiences with real people. A long time ago, I discovered you can have a really good career, but dealing with people, now that's the real work. A team of good people can make a hard job not so bad at all. Conversely, of course, a team of toxic people can make an easy job hard. In either case, when you enter a new work environment, it is actually easy to know the conditions of the space you're in. Take a good look at the leadership, the person at the tip of the hierarchy. If you can discern their true nature, you'll know exactly what to expect or look out for in your new environment. It is much too common to have a person in a high-ranking position that did not get there by climbing the ranks of the hierarchy. There is a ridiculous amount of nepotism in the workplace. Folks who are nowhere near ready to lead a team are often brought in and posted above more suitable candidates that could already be on the job. Logically thinking, you can vastly differ from your mother, father, and siblings. You love them, but you don't like them very much, and they probably don't like you either. So, could you imagine showing favoritism by permanently or for a time bring them into your work environment and have to be around them every day? Probably not. But this happens all the time because it's family. Even if it's a family-owned and operated business, that does not mean little Johnny, who just got out of jail, high school, or just graduated college, should be the head of the production team. He doesn't even get to work on time. In fact, he calls out every Friday. What's worse is his air of entitlement is truly repugnant. Moving on. I'm going to take the definition of nepotism a step further. Decision makers don't always show favoritism to family or longtime friends. No, there is another layer of nepotism I've discovered in the form of energies. And this goes well beyond being blood related or longtime friends. The real attraction is in alike personality characteristics. I happen to have a very high degree of intuition. Even so, it took a very long time to understand and develop. I say that to say this. It takes time to see and sense different personalities and energies. Although we all use intuition all the time. Think about the time you were at a party or gathering of sorts, and you suddenly felt the need to leave because some of the people there gave you a bad vibe. Just to find out later, something really bad happened involving the people who gave you a bad feeling. Or maybe intuition got ahead of you from even wanting to go out in the first place. A simpler example of intuition is road trips before Siri or Google Maps were able to tag along. You turned left instead of right and got lost. Just to say later, dang it, I knew I should have turned right instead of left. That's a very simple way to describe intuition or a gut feeling. But when you understand it, you can grow to trust it. When you are at the level of trusting it, intuition will open your eyes to the true nature of people and the attraction or repulsion of their energy. So, nepotism as an invisible energy attraction can and does cause leaders to bring in people for a high-ranking position that mirrors their energy. Warning, warning, warning. This could be beneficial or a cataclysmic event. Having an empath as a boss or leader would be ideal. An empath's energy connected to another empath's energy, and the connection has purpose. It almost doesn't get any better than that. In fact, most of you can't even imagine such a thing. It sounds too good to be possible. It is not impossible. Sadly, it is rare. Here is something you can imagine. Having a narcissist as a boss or leader. If this is the case, then, like I said earlier, you already know what to expect in that environment. Yet empaths are people who care about other people and the whole of the work environment. Empaths can have a disagreement with you and still be fair. But I've seen it too many times with my own eyes. Narcissistic leaders are severely disconnected from reality. The people that they hire for upper management positions or even lower level openings are problem employees from day one. Your energy is their enemy, even if you are performing well beyond what is required. Because I've been there and taken many laps around the same old track, I can tell you what to expect. In this case, the person who enjoys doing their job and probably is the glue that holds the workflow together will be everyone's mark. There will be manipulation, sabotage, and lies, all aimed at the person with a higher energy frequency. Every single problem will be their fault or become their problem. Let's pick up from where we left off in the last episode of UCHP, the Can You Relate series. You remember Javi, right? Well, Javi was hired by Victor. Nepotism. Like I said earlier, sociopaths and narcissists are severely disconnected from reality. So, I found out from Javi's mouth that he only had 1 year experience as a QC technician before Victor hired him as a senior level inspector at the QC or quality control technician level. And I mean this respectfully. It is entry level to entry level for inspectors. Now, QC techs is a really good place to start in the construction inspection field. But that's not the point. The point is, after only 1 year, Javi went from QC technician to middle management, as he told me, disconnected from reality with a thick cloud of arrogance. You don't know anything yet, Javi. But it's not all his fault. The leader of the team, the tip of the spear, the tip of the hierarchy, the senior project engineer, Victor is the one who hired you. But let me tell you about Victor's background. Years ago, he graduated college with a civil engineering degree. Victor is pushing 50, and he only has 4 years of experience in this field, and not as an engineer. Although he was hired by a different company as an engineer 4 years ago, but within the first year, he was demoted to project administrator, which doesn't even require an engineering degree. In fact, PAs don't require a degree at all, at least not in the state of Florida. But let me continue. By the end of his first year after his demotion, he was released entirely from that company. To fast forward on Victor's 4 years of experience, he's worked for 4 different companies within those 4 years, and he was hired and assigned to this project just 6 months before I got here. So let's do a little math. If Victor hired Javi, it had to have happened within the past 6 months. If Javi only had 1.5 years of experience as a QC technician before Victor hired him, well, class, what do you get? You get a mid-level manager with roughly 17 months of experience telling seasoned inspectors what to do. If that's not nepotism mixed with narcissism, well, I guess I don't know what that is. For those of you who are considering a career in construction, it's a really good move. The industry is solid, and if you want, you can travel the world. International companies are always looking for good people. Those of you who are established in the field, you already know that. My experiences in this field helped me grow toughness to handle more challenges. Challenges no one escapes in any industry. Can you relate? I'm out of time, but here is what you can expect in the next episode of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. I know. You get tired of navigating and dodging toxic people. Your exhaustion makes it hard for you to perform at a level you are capable of, bringing you all the way down to just above baseline. I'll do this and nothing more is how you feel. although you know there's a better way. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.